Game on. Almost. He's coming. He's coming.
You know what? I'm gonna.
Somebody's got to hit play.
Oh, one enters, another leaves. So goes the game-related podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's already gone.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
All right.
I think we're rolling. We're live. We're streaming.
This is serious.
Yeah.
This is happening right
Yeah.
now.
This is the week net neutrality came to an end.
Oh, it sure is. Man, why are you going to bring that up? Now we're going to take the podcast on a totally different tangent.
This was going to be the E3 recap.
Yeah,
I just think it's funny that it happened the same exact week as E3. So
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, oh,
Yeah.
Fallout 76.
E3 is merely a distraction from the actual things that matter in our reality.
I mean,
It is the veil they used.
They could do a better job. I mean, like, we were watching that one that was just, like, highlighting all the awkward things about it, and EA took up, like, a good chunk of that video. But we already talked about EA.
Yeah, we did
That's
last-
true. We're going to skip them today.
Forget about that.
We got EA out of the bag. It's done. So, and, not a lot to talk about there. I mean, it was Anthem, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. Look better than I thought, but that's all I'm going to say.
I'm not holding my breath. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, here we are, Saturday night. It's around midnight. Game-related network coming at you.
We are straight up coming at you. Yeah,
And take a look. Things look maybe a little different. You might see the lighting's a little bit better, and we have like mics like mounted, and like this feels good. It looks good. Maybe
It's nice.
Is that Tamriel?
I don't know. Yeah. What's behind us? I don't know. It's kind of hard to see. That might be.
We just see like. Yeah.
Tamriel,
bro. This is what we see.
Tamriel.
We're in Tamriel right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah. But nobody really knows where in Tamriel, and I think that's maybe a good segue into all the stuff we saw at E3. So, man, what a week it's been.
Hell of a show, man.
Yeah, really
For the
good
most
E3.
part. For the most part.
Yeah, for sure. I guess so last time we talked, it was Saturday. We were talking about EA's events and our speculation for what was going to come.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see a whole lot of stuff this week. Immediately after, or Saturday was Bethesda's conference on Sunday, and man, what a show that was! I had a lot of fun watching that. That was my big show, so I was just so looking forward to everything they dropped, and it was very satisfying. I mean, we got to see some stuff we already knew about, some stuff I didn't see coming, and then some stuff I really didn't see coming, and then some details about stuff that I heard was coming.
Stuff like.
So I guess we can work our way backwards since we got the Elder Scrolls up. Let's just dive into it. They showed us that it's happening. It's happening. It's gonna happen. Elder Scrolls 6 is real. People were doubting it. It's kind of dumb. I hated it. Like people were saying online, like,
of course they're gonna do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like people are like they're giving up on Elder Scrolls because they've got Elder Scrolls Online or they've got all these other games coming out and like whatever. I have complete faith that they're gonna follow through. You don't give up on something like Elder Scrolls, okay?
No, they're doing the exact opposite. They're throwing Skyrim on every platform possible.
Oh yeah,
even that joke of the Alexa, like that's a real game. Like, you can.
Yeah. I love that.
Wow, you can play Alexa Skyrim.
No, that was so fun. I love that video. They were self-aware and honestly, I mean, like they really haven't done anything outrageous with how far they've ported Skyrim.
No,
they've just brought it to different systems, and it's selling. So they're getting money, which they're going to use to make games. Yeah. So port Skyrim to everything. I don't give a fuck. Like if it gives them more money so they can make better games, I'm all for that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like I don't know. Why are you mad? I think that's just how much people want a new Elder Scrolls. They're just every time they see an announcement from them, like, no,
it's not Elder Scrolls. Yeah,
it's happened like 56 times in a row now, and they're just tired of it. You know?
Well, I mean, it's been 7 years, and I think with a lot of franchises, gamers are used to getting iterations every few years or annually in some cases. With like Assassin's Creed had a streak. They've kind of backed off, and I think they're focusing on quality again.
Thank God, because it's showing.
Yeah. Origins, I hear, was great. I haven't played it yet.
It's really good. That Spartan, or what is it called?
Odyssey looks cool.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, dude. And I think that's what they're focusing on, what makes the game cool and makes it good. But with Elder Scrolls, I'm okay with them taking a big break. And Bethesda as a developer, I think, has grown a lot. They've acquired two or I shouldn't say they've acquired two studios. They've opened two new locations, so to speak. They did acquire Battlecry Studios, and then they opened an office in Montreal. And with that, they've been able to expand their development efforts. And So aside from the announcement that they're working on Elder Scrolls, they confirmed all the Starfield rumors. Yes, Starfield is happening. It's a real thing. There was so much speculation and it's funny because all we got was a name, like a trademark was registered for Starfield in like 2013 or something. And so since then, there's been all these rumors, and now like it's real, it's happening. I'm excited, and I'm just gonna wait patiently. In the meantime, they're coming out with Fallout 76 soon. We talked a little bit about that last week. Yep. Got some more details. I've seen a lot of interviews with Todd Howard and Pete Hines going into more of the nitty gritty. And it seems like right now, a lot of the things that I think players are most concerned about are still kind of up in the air. You know, with how certain systems are going to be managed with the online gameplay. So I'm just looking forward to the beta that they've announced. So there's going to be an open beta, and it's going to be fun, man. I don't know. I think it's going to be a really cool game.
It's going to be a different take on Fallout, a different way to play it for sure that no one's ever experienced. And when's honestly the last time you could say that? Aside for the VR, obviously. I mean, that's kind of, as awesome as it is, it's kind of an easy way to say you experience something in a different way. If you know what I mean? Like, it's such a contrast from the traditional way of playing.
In a sense, I mean, you're playing the same game, right? It's in VR, so it's in the new medium, but the game is still the same content. The focus, you know, shifting to multiplayer, and I think it's going to be a little more open-ended. To me, is a bolder move. But I was excited to see that Bethesda did not slack on their VR offerings too. The new Prey DLC has some VR components. They're coming out with a VR Wolfenstein game.
Where you're taking over the machines and killing Nazis.
Sounds badass. And then Elder Scrolls Blades is going to eventually come to PC VR too, which is going to be cool. That's going to be like a mobile game.
That is an interesting concept. And I feel like on several levels it intrigues me. And then on other levels it worries me for certain ends of how people are going to be experiencing it. So what I mean by that is this, like, it's based in the mobile world. So that's their focus on. It's got to be able to run flawlessly on there. We know that, right? So they're talking about having people on a mobile phone play against people in VR. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, that's ambitious. First off,
balance.
Exactly. If you pull this off, like, you're changing everything, right?
Yeah.
But also, how's that going to carry over as far as mechanics? You're going to have a lot more input diversity in VR than you can with the touchscreen.
That was something I thought about too. I don't know how they're going to balance that. I'm excited to see whatever it is they do, because that, like you said, that's going to just cross so many boundaries. And something I can take on the go, like I can play on my like breaks at work and then go home and like continue in VR. That sounds cool, man. And it's Elder Scrolls in like a very, I think, in a pure way. You know, it's still got like all those RPG mechanics where you level your character and you get loot and you change your outfit, and there's a town mode. So there's 3 modes to the game. There's like the town mode, arena, and the abyss. The town mode is like a quest mode where you like rebuild this town and do all this shit. And then the abyss is like an endless kind of roguelike experience. And then arena is PvP. So it sounds like there's a lot there to do and a lot of fun to be had. And if I can do that anywhere and in different mediums, man, I don't know. I'm on board. And it sounds fun. I guess what spurred them to make it is just the insane success of Fallout Shelter. They have over 100, like I heard, like 120 million people playing the game, which is more than any of their other games combined.
That's almost like a third or a quarter of the country.
It's America's like 320 mil or something like that.
That's wild.
So it's like a huge portion of people playing that. So and that also brings revenue, and I don't know, it's a good market. And I think if they can tap into it and make it in a legitimate way, not just like fucking Candy Crush stuff, you know, like they're making legitimate stuff. So I don't know, I'm excited. But man, Bethesda really knocked it out of the park for me. So Fallout 76, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6. We got Wolfenstein Youngblood. We got Doom Eternals coming out. Dude, I mean, they covered all their bases, and I'm excited. But I really love that Andrew WK opening for Rage 2. That was fun, man.
Yo, when's the last time you saw or heard that name?
Right?
Andrew, like, they announced it. I was like, what? I literally didn't know what year it was anymore.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Like, high school was the last time I heard Andrew WK.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That was like 2003, just to give y'all a reference. Like, that was a long time ago.
I was too young for that. I was 10.
Whatever, bro. Don't call me old.
Yeah. Well, so
I don't remember him like at all.
Yeah.
Like,
well, so we had a group text going on during the whole show. We were just all hyping up each other. But I sent you guys. There's the conspiracy. About Andrew WK.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Yeah, I mentioned it to him a little before when we were watching that recap. They showed him. I was like, you heard that he's more of like a personality idea that people fit into as opposed to a person. Like,
like they've. I guess. Yeah. Like he's. What I've heard is he's like the Andrew WK is like a corporate personality, like a Slurms McKenzie or something. Like he's kind of a party shill. Like they made the name Andrew WK, and he's this rock star who likes to party, and like he's been replaced. Like there's been more than one Andrew WK.
I broke the dam.
Yeah.
South Park. I broke the dam.
No, I broke the dam.
I broke the dam.
I don't remember that episode.
No,
Come on.
What episode is this?
I'm pretty sure you and I have watched that episode. It's the episode where Cartman and Kyle, they are on a speedboat that Cartman had like kind of hijacked, and they destroy this beaver's dam. And at the end,
I remember. Dude, I've seen too many episodes. Holy shit.
I mean, I just watched the whole series episode to episode in the past few months, so it's a lot fresher on my mind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give you leeway there.
Mine spread out over 21 years.
Right. No, I remember when South Park
You actually watched it as it came out.
Yeah. I was the same age as the South Park kids when it came out. So it was like, I was a 10-year-old in 3rd grade. And so I've literally, I've grown with the show. And it's great. I need to catch up. I haven't watched the most recent seasons, so I'm a little behind on that.
Oh, long live South Park.
Yeah.
Love that show, man. 97. I remember the first episode. God damn it. It's crazy. Props, though. Keep it going. Please don't ever stop. I love that show. Anyways, we digress. But they deserve some time. You guys get some.
Yeah. For sure.
I guess you can. I guess we'll allow you to retire one day, Trey and Matt.
Someday.
Eventually.
No, not until the Simpsons do. I feel.
Yeah, that's true.
Or Family Guy.
After both of them. At least last longer than both of them. I mean, like, I guess, I don't know, is Seth MacFarlane, like, if he jumps ship or if, Matt Groening jumps ship, is the show done then? Or, like, how's that work?
I think we can count it as far as the original. That's when they can retire and say, because when the OGs start stepping off the creators, then that's something different to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was going to say, I feel like the ship is self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Like the original creators like Matt Groening and like Matt or Seth MacFarlane don't need to have as much like hands and pies with the creative aspects of it. Like they've got good writers, they've got the money to keep like the payroll for like all the other administrative staff. So they just need to show up for like the talent stuff, like doing the voices and like I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting when those shows do one day stop. That's gonna be a sad day.
That video game example of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Metal Gear series.
Ooh.
Oh, rest in peace, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess
someone else
we're
took that thing and made Metal Gear survive.
I mean, Snake came back in Super Smash Bros, and that's about the only way to keep that character.
And they brought David Hayter back. I'm very excited about that. I mean, he's solid Snake for me.
He and Kojima, like, apparently Kojima wanted someone else to, voice act.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, and I can understand that, but it just makes me sad. Hearing somebody do that voice for 4 or 5 games or 4 games.
More than that, shit.
Well, no, because Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4.
We had the mobile ones too. Portable Ops. They had
Walker.
And they had the card games.
Right.
There was a lot of games.
Yeah, Acid and Peace Walker. Yeah.
But still, exactly.
What's that voice? I don't know. What's Kojima's beef with Hater's voice? That was. I mean, it just fit to me. I loved it.
I feel
like it fits.
I heard he wanted something more or less characterized. I know, because Hater was a little,
on the nose about it.
Yeah. But Keith, I mean, if you're going to get somebody to replace him, Kiefer Sutherland is a good choice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say so. And I mean, like, it's like with Kojima, he loves film. And that's kind of what he wanted to do creatively at first before he got into video games. And you know, he was just inspired by some movies and, you know, kind of wanted to reflect that in his games.
Yeah.
And I guess that self-awareness that David Hayter portrayed was just not what he was looking for. I don't know. I'm trying to defend both sides because I love them.
No, for sure. No, I feel you because it's like I love both of them for both what they did. You know, like David Hayter gave the voice to that character, and that's what I identified with in that character. But the creator of the character was like, oh, you know, I kind of want something different, but it's like. Yeah. It's like when you get too committed to something and you can't pull back at a certain point, you know. So it's like it is what it is. Yeah. It's so it goes.
Exactly.
But all of this, I think, is a good segue into Monday's showcase, which featured Kojima's Death Stranding, which is coming out. We finally saw some gameplay and some like real details.
Walk play.
Walking.
Right. Yeah. Well, there was a couple things. I mean, it was ambiguous as fuck, no doubt.
Oh yeah,
but I liked what they showed.
I did too.
Yeah. It was
nice.
It was subtle in Kojima's way. I mean, like you just saw, like you said, like Norman Reedus walking around carrying various packages in different ways on his back.
Backpack simulator.
Like there's occasionally a corpse on his back.
There's always something on his back.
And I mean, at least it gave us a little variety in that. Like sometimes walking's hard, you guys. If you have that big old backpack and you're walking through a river, oh no, he falls over and all the weight gets, you know, unbalanced. Or he's like walking on a ladder across a cliff and he's like, oh, this is scary. I'm walking, but this is like exciting walking. And you had like, there was one time he was climbing up a mountain and he almost fell, you guys. Like,
you know what that part was?
The Roomba.
Clerks 2. Here's the first movie. Here's the second movie. Here's the third. That's what that was. That's what that stumble was.
I'm so excited for the game.
That was actually the climax of the game right there.
And I mean, I do think it looks awesome. I think the level design, like how the world looks, looks like what, Iceland or something?
Shit, I don't know, man.
That looked like different planes of existence in every scene.
Like, as far as the nature was concerned, it felt very, you know, mountainy, but still green and, you know, overcast a lot. And it was like, you know, where is this happening? You know, it just kind of got me thinking about that. But I mean, did you guys see that little snapshot, that little photo that Kojima had released like a week or two before the shows? Like,
no.
It was like just a little bit of moss. Just kind of trying to, I guess, showcase how the engine can make certain things in the environment look photorealistic. And visually, the game looks solid.
Looks good, man. I mean, the Fox engine that they used for Metal Gear Solid 5 was very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not using that one, though.
No, but they're not. But I mean, I feel like he's got people that maybe have been on those teams, and he's got his Uh-oh.
Right, so we're still live, but gonna figure that out. So
no, but it looks very good. Very excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Hang tight, anybody who's watching. We're gonna get this resolved.
Do you guys? I mean, I guess we should just. I mean, are we gonna pause it?
It's going. It says the battery's still full too. I don't know. We gotta figure that part out. I need to get that remote set up actually.
All right. Well.
Get that remote right. Hopefully that thing doesn't go out again.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sorry for the delay. One day.
Or we are upside down. Oh, we're falling into Hammerfell or High. What is it? High Peak? Is that what it's called?
High Rock.
High Rock. That's it.
Maybe Hammerfell, but probably High Rock.
High Rock. This rock, it's super high. That rock.
Love that we're upside down right
now. Oh, hey.
That was sudden. That was sudden. Disorienting.
Yes.
Camera.
Oh boy. No.
We're doing it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I feel thin, sort of stretched like
Hopefully
butter scraped over too much bread. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing Lord of the Rings quotes out there.
We were talking about Death Stranding, Backpack Simulator.
Yeah. So, did you guys recognize?
Oh yeah. Norman Reedus in the Freaky Fetus.
Yeah.
I've been hearing online. Oh, I love it.
Fetus. Come on.
Yeah.
That's too perfect.
Norman Reedus in the Freaky Fetus or something like that. Is
exactly. That's what it is.
Love it.
They okay. So, did you guys recognize either of those new actresses that they unveiled in the trailer?
No, but I heard a lot of hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo.
Yeah.
So, you heard about them or what?
No? Well, I mean, I just saw people like, oh, they're in it, and I was like, I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, neither do I. I mean, I recognize one of them, the one who like put those okay, you recognize those little time bug things? Like they were in the last trailer from the VGA show in 2017 or the awards or whatever. But like you would see some of them just like. It looked like they were crawling up webs or something that you couldn't see or whatever. They were just kind of like flying, but also crawling whenever like it was later in the trailer after Sam, which is Norman Reedus' character, had like vomited out that black stuff or whatever. Yeah. And then he had also vomited out a bunch of those things, and they
I'll have to watch it again. Yeah. I need to go back and watch it because I remember that trailer was very. There was a lot of. Kind of revealing stuff, but you just know the context of it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there was the whole like scene where he's like by the car, like hiding from the shadow things, and like the things like crawling by, and it was like very tense, and it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Now I think we saw in this trailer more, at least context, I guess you could call it. Yeah. Like the way like he used the baby to power like the clicky thing that like reveals them.
That was
exactly.
Yeah. Like that's what that's about. I don't know. But it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. I think that seems to be an integral like game mechanic.
Yeah.
But man, that's just freaky. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's freaky, and it's like I think what it is with when it comes to the baby and being able to sense these beings from like another plane of existence or whatever. It's something like. I don't remember. There was this game I saw a trailer for that I never played later on, but it was like you played as like a 2-year-old baby or something, and you'd always see these like demons or spirits or whatever, and it was like a horror game or whatever. But you're a fucking baby and you can't do anything. So I think that stems from some I don't know if it's like a theory or researched or just a storytelling element that explains away why babies cry all the time, but it's something about how infants can sense like life that is like on a sixth sense or something.
I can dig that. Yeah.
That machine like harnesses it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I read, or they say in the trailer that like they steal your time or something like that. So like I think if they touch you, they like rapidly age you or like steal.
Yeah, and I mean the rain does that for sure. The time fall does that, and it's got to be connected with whatever events are going on. Like what the fuck caused this? That's the big question for Death Stranding. I think it's just like how did this happen?
Well, a big thing I saw. So in the trailer they show like Sam's, Norman Reedus is like. A picture with him and like his family. And his mom, and his mom looks older. Yeah. At the end of the trailer, that lady is his mom. That's why it was all like, like look who it is. Because if you saw her early in the trailer, in the photo, she had like more aged face. Yeah. And then she was more rejuvenated, and she was standing on the beach with all these like dead like whales and sea life and stuff.
Oh.
So I think like she's she's getting rejuvenated somehow. So I think that push and pull of life and age or whatever is going to be a big part of that.
That is interesting. So, that's interesting. I gotta watch the trailer again and see if there's something. No,
it's great. It's great. There's so much stuff.
God,
we could do a whole episode on that trailer and what anything could be. It's such a long, vague, but intriguing question. That's what I look at that trailer.
Exactly. That's how I look at all the trailers for this game. Though, ever since that unveil, the whole thing has just been like, he even said it's been like this game of just all the fans and the whole internet that even cares about Kojima stuff is trying to put all the pieces together and see what, they can get right or what ends up being, what actually happens. But that's the thing, they just keep on showing like not very much. Even though they have shown gameplay at this point, it still raises just as many questions as it ansers.
I've got so many questions.
Man. But another one that they showed that didn't, it kind of showed you a little more and just got fucking Last of Us 2.
Oh.
That trailer, first off, before we get into the gameplay, was art. The way they went from them on the dance floor, from the kiss to just that brutal just existence of that world. Wow. The brutality within every move, all the just the grimy, just the desperation and everything. Now, I love how they relay that world to you.
I didn't catch the whole trailer. I only saw like when they got into the combat.
Okay.
So I think I tuned in when I got home from work and I started watching. I think it was like they was like finishing up the trailer.
Okay.
I gotta rewatch it. But I remember what I remember is it's how fluid the animation system is.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! There's been a lot of speculation like, oh, was it like choreographed or just like pre-animated or scripted, whatever. I mean, I think it was well played. Literally, like somebody knew how to play the game, you know, and play it tight to make it look good.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was also maybe some kind of. It's I don't know. If you connect it right, it doesn't matter if it looks good and it feels fluid.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Okay, so I mean, like, I actually, did you guys hear about that tweet that the one of the lead developers for Rise of the Tomb Raider or Shadow of the Tomb Raider was talking about how that preview for The Last of Us Part 2 was fake. Yeah. And he had tweeted fake or something like that, and then he later deleted it and later apologized and yada yada. But it was like, you know, I mean, I play Uncharted. I don't play the Tomb Raider games. Maybe someone's just jealous. I don't know. That's just me, man. But you know,
that's hilarious. Just taking shots.
Well, what I'm saying, dude, like the Uncharted games, when I played those, like it was a similar experience. Like I was playing it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, is this like just a cool movie or like this game? Like,
am I actually
I'm
controlling
doing
this? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't feel like I'm like. There's an element in a lot of games where there's that. You have that suspension of disbelief that you're playing it, but there's still that element of like control, like you're moving your character like left and right, and like you know, like it's you can't feel those boundaries of the game, but you let go of that to an extent.
Exactly.
Like with like Uncharted or similar games, or with Naughty Dog, the way they're able to integrate the cinematic elements like that blend with like your movement.
Yeah,
it's so cohesive and it's fluid.
Yeah,
and it makes for a really cool gameplay experience.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, it reminds me a little bit of like following sports games my whole life. How they do motion capture and dynamic animation, especially in football games. You're gonna have momentum-based tackles, but they gotta fall realistically. So there are elements of pre-canned stuff in there, but there's also dynamic stuff in there. And I think their latest baseball game, they finally seemed like Sony San Diego. Finally seemed like they found that bridge between animations and just having them all like branch together and look natural. So I know it's if you can recreate baseball to where it's almost undiscernible to the eye of the real thing, you can do it with anything because that's like a sport with super mechanics and variations. You just gotta make one character or a handful of characters move a certain way. You're not capturing real idiosyncrasies, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think that shit's beyond what it is capable. And I mean,
don't think so
God of War, you know, like watching how that game was animated and went down, and just the graphical quality. That's another thing I thought that was had in common. I looked at like, this shit's running on a PS4. What the hell? It looks phenomenal visually, man. But I don't know. That guy's definitely got some salt he needs to purge from his system, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just like you guys have played. I don't know if you played Uncharted 4.
No, I haven't played Uncharted 4. I've only played actually Uncharted 2.
Oh, okay, for sure.
And you thought that way back then.
Yeah,
Uncharted.
Exactly. It
2009, almost 10 years ago now. Not bad as far as aging. But I mean,
developers the doubt too.
Yeah,
cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're all good.
That's the wrong one, man.
Yeah, it's Naughty Dog first off, and I mean, like, you know, it's with how good Uncharted 4 was visually, and how, you know, obviously as by its nature that game is more demanding. It's more explosive, and you got a bunch of others like they literally made those games to challenge themselves as far as what they could do. That's why the third one took place in like a desert with all the sand, because they wanted to get the sand physics and snow in Uncharted 2 and stuff like that. And with Naughty Dog, with The Last of Us, it's like they can still make it like, you know, really cinematic and really intense and really engaging, but they also don't have that much going on like at like a big old blockbuster movie. There's still like gunfights and stuff, but it's not like Joel or Ellie are like jumping out of airplanes that got blown in half, and then they got to ride down the Jeep that's falling and then pull your parachute at the right time, and then like a shrapnel piece comes in and cuts it or something. Like I'm not saying this based on memory as much as just like what Nathan Drake would put himself in, but
no,
they're able to capitalize with that, and make up for since they don't have to worry about all that shit, they can just make it look all that more fluid and all that much more realistic.
It's the subtleties
they want to. Exactly, the devil's in the details.
And I think that's a good point. Like I think that I gotta admit, I haven't played The Last of Us, the original one. My old roommate though, who had a PS3 at the time, played through it, and I watched him play a little bit of it, and he talked to me about it a lot, and didn't spoil anything, because he told me it was one of the most amazing video game stories he's ever played through. The only game that's ever made him like cry. You know,
the first 10 minutes.
Seriously,
it's like, fucked up.
I've heard nothing but amazing things. So, but I think that in itself in the game, I mean, it's rooted in a different emotional vein.
Yeah,
you know, like Uncharted is Indiana Jones, like high adventure.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And
Last
that's
of Us
the thing.
Is crazy survival.
Exactly, and that's as it should be. That's what The Last of Us is as a game, and I'm glad that Naughty Dog knows the difference between the two. They didn't want to make The Last of Us like Uncharted in that sense, and they did a really good job of making it stand out on its own. And they understand what it is to not only themselves as developers, but the gamers themselves. And this is still The Last of Us for sure. Like I've beaten that game like honestly like 3 or 4 times, and I beat it on grounded mode, which like you have to pay $5 to download because it's like it's not even available in the base game. Well, I mean, unless you get it on PlayStation 4. But if you had it on PlayStation 3, it was a $5 additional to get the real difficult mode.
Wow.
And oh man, that was fun, but also really frustrating. But I mean, it all goes to say that I mean I've played a lot and I'm experienced with it. So watching that gameplay, it still definitely was The Last of Us. And whoever, like you said, whoever was playing definitely knew what to do to make the whole interaction, the whole experience for what Ellie was doing cohesive and concise and consistently engaging. And it was glorious.
Man, what'd y'all think of that? Was it Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima.
That was the one with the guy and like trying to rescue the monk, right? Or was that a different game? There's a couple like samurai games.
So okay, one of them was Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is the From Software one, the Souls-like one, and that's the one where one of his arms is replaced with like a skeletal, like almost steampunk, like 1800s Japan type. Kind of thing, and he's got a hook, like a grappling hook that he uses to like get to higher ground or to get the higher edge on enemies and stuff like that. No,
I saw that. That looked dope as shit too.
I'm excited about
but Ghost of Tsushima, that's the other one. That was that the one like there was the lady and they were trying to rescue the
there was the lady that he had to fight at the end or whatever.
His friend when she because they were that's right because I'm recalling.
Looked cool. It was fucking like visually stunning. Looked like a good combat, kind of Dark Souls like in itself. That's why I was kind of confused when you were saying. I was like, oh, which one is it? But the From Software one.
Exactly.
More.
So this game, right? When I was looking at it, I was watching kind of the combat went. It's not because the combat's the same because his weapons evolved, but it looked to me like it was gonna scratch an itch I've in gaming been wanting to have scratched for a long fucking time. Did y'all ever play Jade Empire back in the day?
I've heard nothing but great things about it. I know of it. I'm pretty sure my roommate actually has a physical copy of it, but I don't have the wires for the original Xbox that's upstairs.
Oh man, it was BioWare. It's an action RPG, martial arts based. Man, it had a great story. The combat system of the different martial arts you could learn, and the way you could piece together your skill trees and all that was phenomenal. But I love that setting, that old just ancient Asian lore, and that whole. I'm like, okay, this is gonna take me closest to that place as I've been since I played that game, and I'm super excited for just some of that feudal Japan, samurai type action with a deep. It looks like it has a deep story. I don't know if it's going to.
Well, I mean,
it looks pretty heavy.
Kind of that gameplay demo of Ghost of Tsushima that honestly reminded me of The Witcher 3 a little bit. I mean, like how he would like call his horse and get on and just kind of ride through the country and stuff like that. And I mean, if we're getting a Witcher 3 in like that time period, I mean, I'm sold. I'm sold on the From Software one as it is. Like this is gonna be. I have high hopes for it. I really do. The combat too.
It looked visceral and like
and brutal.
Yeah.
Like it should, man. If you got swords and highly skilled swordsmen wielding them, you should see some shit.
I mean, katanas are designed to kill in one swing. Like one good swing, just a clean cut through. Like you can get brutal.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man.
Well, you mentioned The Witcher 3, and that just makes me think of something else we saw at E3.
Yes, which actually was shown at Microsoft's show, the final thing. And I love how they ended it.
Before we go there, though, are we skipping Spider-Man?
Okay. I mean,
it's kind of a known entity. We don't have to touch on it too much because we've.
It looked cool.
There we go. Cool. Just want to,
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna get it.
Cool. I'm excited. I don't have a PS4 though, so I'm probably not gonna play it.
I will. I'm getting it.
Eventually, maybe I'll play it. But
Spider-Man 2 was such a big game for me back on the GameCube back in those days. Like, I loved it. That was one of the best licensed games ever. Like, so good. And this is honestly, with watching this demo, it really did remind me of like Arkham and Asylum, City, and Night. Like in a number of ways. Like, it kind of saw it as inspiration, and we're like, okay, that's a good, standard to try and match up to and, exceed if we can. And Spider-Man's a perfect superhero for that kind of stuff.
Right? Really is.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it was nice to see that you fight a bunch of villains. That's like in the old games, too. And, I mean, I played other Spider-Man games also, but Spider-Man 2 is my favorite back then. I like the web slinging system where it's like you get to see which focal point he's going to actually shoot it at. And you can, visually it's enough to know kind of, have a good idea of being able to visualize it before it happens.
Right. So you can kind of orient yourself too, because that was one of the things I love Spider-Man 2, the one on PlayStation 2. That's my Spider-Man reference point.
It's the best one ever.
Because it had that open world web slinging and shit. It was cool, but there was in certain times when you're swinging, you don't know exactly where that's going to link.
Oh yeah, exactly.
and so you don't know how to project like where you're going to be, like what your vector is going to be for when you're going around a corner or something. So that I think adds a little more predictability and it will let you get more precise with your maneuvering.
Exactly.
Which is, I just want to feel like Spider-Man. I have like dreams where I'm like Spider-Man powers, so I know about that shit. I seriously, I really want. I do want to play this game, but I don't have a PS4, so one day.
Just come over, bro. We'll be getting down over.
For sure.
You got to get him through Last of Us, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. We can definitely do that.
That's got to happen. I mean,
we should stream your playthrough. That would be cool as hell.
Yeah. Well, the only games I'm missing out on are those PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah. Those are some hellacious games that we're missing out on.
Yeah. There's some big ones. So I got to get in there. It's the only thing I'm missing as a PC gamer.
We're going to find a way to get you a PlayStation one of these days, bro. We're going to figure that out.
Agreed. PlayStation 4 Pro.
But we were transitioning into the future.
This big old final unveil from that Microsoft show. And I mean, I'm just saying, I love how they did it. Like, they were, like Nintendo with their March Direct, they were like, okay, and that concludes our, thing for the month. But we have one more surprise for you. And they did do the kind of similar thing here, but it was a little less cheesy with how Microsoft did it. It was a little more funny. It was like, flicker and, he's just like, oh, what is this? He's about to say, thanks for the time, thanks for watching and whatever. And then gets hacked. Yeah. Starts putting in that Cyberpunk 2077.
Such a great transition, man. I mean, because it was a cool show. Microsoft, I feel like they made a lot of ground. They announced some cool exclusives.
Exclusive.
They've like some So some developers they like acquired, and I think they're trying to they're starting to realize that they need to get some IPs rolling. With gameplay. Like it's got to happen if they're going to stay competitive.
Exactly.
Because they've got the hardware, dude. The Xbox One X is like fucking badass.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're fucking Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, guys. Yeah. But man, that was such a good way, dude. That Fallout 76 trailer came out during that too.
Yeah,
which was so cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I was freaking out because I was like, what are they gonna do later then? Like, if they already showed this trailer.
Exactly.
You know, but they showed the trailer again.
Yeah. Exactly. They did the same thing with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Like, during the Square Enix one, it was just like, oh, I just watched this.
Well, you're not gonna not show the trailer again at your own show, right? I mean, you gotta do it.
Maybe like an extended version or something.
Right? Yeah.
Or different, something totally different about the game.
Yeah.
Show me a gameplay chunk instead of the trailer. We saw the trailer.
Mm-hmm. But all the same, I was really excited to see that drop. I mean, because we all wanted to see some Cyberpunk. We knew we were gonna get something. You know, we didn't see quote unquote gameplay footage from the trailer, but we saw engine and like in-world footage, like an idea of like the aesthetic in a deeper way. Because the first one was so much more of like a concept piece, you know?
Yeah.
It was like the slow-mo thing of like this girl getting shot with bullets and like, you know, whatever. This had like shit going down, like people moving, like you saw the world. It's got that Witcher 3 like organic element to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad that they showed like daytime stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because like the cyberpunk element is so like, I don't know, I feel like it's so overdrawn and like nighttime shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like showing it in the day was a bolder decision because it's, I don't know, it's
just
not
a
what you
departure.
expect.
It's a departure, and it's super colorful. I love that.
Exactly.
And that trailer reminded me of like before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, how they started hyping that up, and you like saw those same kind of like they would show you Los Santos, like you just see some guy like sweeping off his doorstep, just till they show you like these guys, these citizens are active. It's a deep world, you know. There's the little details.
Exactly.
And and even the attitude of it, you know, it reminded me of like GTA Future in a way.
Totally.
You know, that's the best thing you could be if you're this game. And you're gonna have CD Projekt Red's twist on it, you know. So it's gonna be deep and satisfying as far as the story, but we also gonna see something totally different from them, man. Like,
well, it's gonna be first person as well. That's gonna be a big thing. I think maybe it seems like a lot of people weren't expecting that. You know, I saw some people like, oh, it's gonna be first person, like you can't see your guy, but you'll see your guy getting in and out of the cars and like in conversation, maybe in some things. I don't know, cinematics.
like Deus Ex.
Who knows? Yeah. That's what I imagine.
Yeah. Which is dope, bro. Maybe you go undercover, it goes to third person or something like that. Like Deus Ex does.
Dude, CD Projekt Red, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I saw yesterday a video from this guy on YouTube meeting Mike Pondsmith, who is the creator of Cyberpunk 2020, which is the original IP that the game is based on. Yeah. It's kind of like a cyber
2020, bro.
Yeah, it's like it's like 2 years from now. It's like, all right.
Can you imagine the world in 2020? That's what they were saying when they made that shit.
Exactly. Yeah, like 30 years ago. But he was saying he's very excited. He's been consulting them on the game. He has a producer credit. He's very involved in the project, it seems.
Nice. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah. He seemed enthused, which for me, like a guy who created a thing that the game is based on, for him to be just excited and ecstatic, like seemingly from what I saw, just gives me more hope. You know, because I know how well executed The Witcher 3 was. So, seeing them go all out with Cyberpunk, dude. I mean, man, we're gonna get some badass sci-fi games in the next couple years. Like we got Cyberpunk, we got Starfield, we got maybe Star Citizen coming out eventually. I don't know, but I feel like Star Citizen's gonna get kind of bypassed almost at this point.
It probably will. You got some huge.
There's also Anthem and Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited.
I
want to play the original. I still haven't.
I never played the original, and I need to watch the trailer because I heard about it, but I didn't see what they showed. So enlighten me.
I saw the trailer and it was cool. It was like kind of fleshing out the world more, revealing some more characters, you know. But what I liked was they were kind of going over like the city and like how the main hub of Ganesh has these different temples and all that. But it's just one city, one planet. And however expansive this universe is that you're going to be in. Yeah. And so I'm looking more so just like the depth of it and the quality of it, because it's going to be an exploration game. It's going to be continuation. Oh no, it's a prequel actually.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Okay, I'm sorry,
okay.
a prequel, but an expansion on a universe that people love and have been clamoring for a lot of years. And I didn't play the first one either. You know, I just remember hearing about it and seeing stuff. I think I do actually have it in my library, so I'm gonna play it. But this game's gonna be way different than the first one was.
Do you have it on PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna check it out, but yeah. But man, it looks really deep and really well thought out. And they're having what was his name? The actor
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, they're doing the
the hit record thing.
Yeah, so they're having like artists from all over the world just submit whatever piece of whatever thing they need, and they're collaborate. It's pretty much gonna be a huge collaboration for the music, the art. You see like the murals that they have in the cities in the game and shit like that.
That's tight.
Yeah, it's different.
Dude, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's been a really cool dude. He's been getting in the industry a lot more in the last couple of years. Because I remember seeing him at OC3, I think, or OC2, the Oculus Connect conference, and he was talking about VR, and he just seems really stoked on like different mediums, which is cool.
Yeah,
I don't know,
absolutely.
Oh, VR, what was that? Like
Stormland, holy shit, we're gonna go there. Oh fuck,
I mean, you said VR, bro.
That's yeah.
Stormland.
Well,
whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, it's coming from Insomniac, right?
Yeah.
Huge developer. Bringing us an amazing game. I've only seen the one trailer of it so far. I know they released another one, I think. Yeah. But dude, looks cool as shit.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous. Yeah. They did what was that? Edge of Nowhere.
Yeah.
That game was cool. I mean, you could tell it was an early VR game, especially for a third-person VR thing. It's kind of an experiment, tech demo-y, but it was really cool. Yeah. You could tell the high-quality studios behind it.
Yeah.
I feel like they're taking that experience and all the rest of their experience.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give us I want to say the first ground up AAA open world VR game we're gonna see. You know.
I think it's gonna be one of those titles that's a must have, like Lone Echo. I'm very excited for it. I mean, it came out of nowhere, and these are the kind of games I get really stoked on because it's not an IP I know. It's something completely new, and it's in a medium that I know. Like you said, it's built from the ground up, and those are the best games. I love those VR games that are just something completely like novel that you get to work through. And the mechanics look amazing. I mean, you're playing as this robot on these floating islands in the sky, I guess, and you've got this like hover mechanic with these rocket boots and like all these guns and like cool things. I don't know, man. It looks cool. I gotta watch more footage, but it looks very promising.
Co-op too.
Excited. Yeah, co-op. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah. Dope.
And it changes. The world always changes. So the replay value is off top just gonna be through the roof.
Yeah. I can't even imagine, dude. It's very exciting. I this is the kind of stuff I'm glad I'm in VR for. You know, it's like just give it to me. Yeah. I really want to get Budget Cuts too, man. That just dropped yesterday.
Yeah, they've been 2 days.
Was it yesterday or Thursday? Either way, Budget Cuts just came out. Looks good. They delayed it a couple times, but they finally dropped it. But that's been one of those titles that's been teased since I got my headset. Like I remember in 2016 when I got my Rift, they had a demo for Budget Cuts, and it was they were like talking about the game coming out eventually, and it was one of the best demos. I still haven't played the demo because I just been waiting for the game, and the demo's outdated from what I hear at this point. And it was when I got my touch controllers, I had so much other shit I was doing, and I didn't think about it. But I want to get that, man. It looks cool.
It looks really cool, man. Yeah. We're in a good place with the VR. So we kind of jumped when we were on Microsoft.
Yeah.
I just don't want us to get too far.
Right.
Stormland potentially veers off. So we were on.
We covered Microsoft and
Cyberpunk.
Bethesda.
Well, I mean, with Microsoft, I mean,
there's still more, but whatever.
Yeah,
Microsoft's
exactly.
Okay. There's other Gears of War. They're coming out with a new one. They're coming out with Gears of War Mobile, Gears of War Tactical.
What the hell was that pop bullshit?
Yeah, some Funko Pop.
I don't even know.
I don't know, man.
Like I'm at least relieved that they started with Pop and then they did Tactics, and I was like, okay, where's the real Gears of War? And then they were like, here's the fucking real Gears of War, and I was like,
okay,
great.
I was like, don't
Awesome.
blue ball me like that.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna play the game, but like, don't make me mad.
Exactly.
For the people who really care.
Don't come in to conquer me, bro.
What are we looking at over there?
Oh, did we lose? We lost some video.
The thing died. It didn't click. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Shit.
More technical. We're figuring this out, man. Bear with us.
Such
you know what I'm saying? It's like the third time we did this shit.
Oh man, right? I mean,
camera had an AC adapter.
Just gonna throw it out there that Halo. What is it?
What happened over there?
I got it.
Interesting.
What is it called? Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite. I'm pretty sure that's actually just Halo 6, and they just took away the 6.
It looks like it, man. But I'm just glad to see a Halo ring. And
Yeah.
see some shit that
reminds me of old
like
Halo.
Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming back to form, dude.
Exactly. I feel like 343 took some time and we're like, okay, we got to do this one right.
Yeah.
Like, I think Microsoft probably just told them that, like, you got to do this one right, and you got to be able to make it go on fucking PC.
Right?
Like,
Jesus Christ. Like, how hard is it to bring a fucking Halo game to PC?
Especially Halo 4 and 5. Like, come on.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
These are Microsoft.
Yeah. Now, how many other games do you have the Play Anywhere program?
Yeah.
But your flagship fucking franchise isn't part of that? That's crazy.
Halo is your Mario. Just accept it. Like, that's what you need.
Right. It needs to be on everything you put games on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying. I mean, they even got like Halo Spartan Assault.
Yeah.
You know, the top-down shooters on PC. So obviously you guys pay attention to. Anyway. It's not what this is about. Well, it's about Halo Infinite. I hope it's good.
I hope it's good. Looks good.
I don't know what the hell it is other than that CG trailer they showed.
I mean, was it CG? I feel like that could be Xbox One X in-engine footage.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. Like,
no, I mean, to me, it looked like in-game, quote unquote.
Right, exactly. Like, you know, what they would use in the CG cutscenes for, like, something that was also in-engine. Like, The Last of Us cutscenes.
I could see that. I could see that. Part of me... I don't know, man. I'm not gonna spec. I feel like it's too early on. But part of me feels like it was just kind of like something to get you hype. I don't know.
No, I don't know, man. Because they were talking about they had to bring it into a new engine.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were showing that off because it looked like a gameplay video. You know, like what I would expect. I don't know.
I honestly don't see why else they would open it that way.
I don't know.
You know, like, I mean, they opened it so mysteriously, and I mean, the music alone indicated to me that it was Halo. But, like, at first they just showed you, you know, wildlife, like, you know, and a bunch of animals and shit. Yeah. And, I mean, like, it looked like, you know, if they were going to do animals in CG, I feel like they would, I don't know, they looked like models instead of just, like, you know, it looked like it was in-game to me personally. But, I mean, we'll have to wait and see for sure.
It's like, for me, like, when you watch, like, or play, like, a Final Fantasy game, you know, they go, like, into the pre-rendered cut sequence, and you know that's a cut sequence.
Yeah.
Cutscene. And then you go back to gameplay. It had that like that level of aliasing that looked like gameplay footage.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but I don't know. It looked real to me. Like it looked like Halo.
It looked like Halo.
And that's all that matters to me. I mean, whatever it is, like it's not out yet, so they're gonna change whatever it is.
Right.
I did kind of. It does make me kind of think of that Killzone 2 trailer that everybody just ready to just freaking buy a PlayStation when that dropped. PlayStation 3 back in the day. They were like, what is this? Yeah, but the Killzone 2 trailer wasn't what you got, but it did look like in-engine gameplay.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say no because I mean they do have a new engine for it. It is the One X and PC now that they're focusing on, so you can push that shit. Man. We don't know what next gen Halo looks like because I don't think the last Halo was really next gen to me.
Didn't feel like it really. Like that was. Oh, I'm not even going to get into it, but that was about the summation of, well, I mean, okay, no, they also had Devil May Cry 5. That's one that I want to throw out there.
That one looks like it's caught in like a weird place.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they showed Dante at the very end for like a split second, but I mean, apart from that, it's the other guy whose name I don't know.
Well, what I mean too, like caught in a weird place is like, is it a sequel to the numbered series or a sequel to DMC? Or is it kind of a hybridized version?
DMC was a Ninja Theory title, and that wasn't. Ninja Theory did Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and they did like Heavenly Sword and stuff. So I mean, they did multiple platforms. They did their own publishing deal and everything, but they were one of the companies that Microsoft purchased. So, I mean, whatever they're working on after what they did with Hellblade, I think that might be what we see as the next big Xbox exclusive. Not the next one, but I mean, it's going to be one of the closest things to fruition that we see from Microsoft purchasing all of their studios, which to me was just as big of a fucking announcement as any like AAA title. Their own Microsoft studio for developing games, and they bought out 4 other ones. You know, and Ninja Theory was the big one for me. The other one, I forget the names, but I'm pretty sure they're the guys that did PlayerUnknown's. Yeah, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And
No.
Fuck that game.
No. Playground Games is the one that does Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Oh, they do that crazy open world development, which is that's a hell of a studio to have in your portfolio.
I mean, I'm glad they did it. I assume they already owned it, just because Forza's always been an Xbox deal.
Was it Turn 10 that develops Forza? I want to say mostly Playground Games. I want to say Playground develops the world. Turn 10 does the driving mechanics and all that. So they're the Forza people. Right. Playground's the world creators. That's my understanding of it.
For sure. I don't know. Well, I mean, either way, that's good, because from playing Forza Horizon 3, that world was fun to drive through for sure.
Crazy, man.
You know?
Detail.
Yeah, the detail. Oh boy. But yeah, no, I think that's about it from Microsoft as far as you were saying. Like, I mean,
yeah, it was a good show. To me, for what I saw, I mean, I was pleased to see that they're making progress, but nothing that I'm gonna really need.
I will throw this out there. I mean, a couple of things actually. Now that I'm trying to think it over, Ori and the Blind Forest sequel or whatever.
Will of the Wisps.
Yeah, Will of the Wisps. You know, I'm sure that's going to be good. I haven't played the first one yet, but my roommate keeps on bugging me too. So I should. I'm sure I should. Like the music, I was just listening to him play, and the music, I was just like, oh, I shouldn't pay attention, but the music alone was just very, it drew me in, or it was trying to. But apart from that, Cuphead DLC. Cuphead DLC. What? I did not expect that. Yes. Yeah.
That's great.
I am excited for that. And then there was one other, smaller game that looked like a Zelda kind of ripoff / inspired, where you're like a little fox, and it's
called
Tunic. Tunic, yeah.
It's even funny they call it Tunic.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you acknowledge your inspirations. It feels less like a ripoff and more like an homage,
right?
Which is great. Yeah. I mean, like, did you ever play 3D Game Heroes on PlayStation 3?
I saw. I never played it. It looked really cool.
It was awesome. I love that game. That is like a blatant original Legend of Zelda for NES, like basically like that, but with 3D pixels and the multiple dungeons and everything. I never beat it. It was pretty difficult. I beat the original Legend of Zelda though, but in this one you have you can get swords that are just like obscenely huge, and it's just so fun. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of, just like an old school but also new age kind of Zelda inspiration, and the combat looked fun and stuff. So I mean, I'm actually pretty excited for that. But now I think that's all we have to say about Microsoft. So
we had the obligatory Crackdown 3 appearance.
Oh yeah,
I just want to say that one.
Well, I mean, I love Terry Crews, and hopefully it doesn't get delayed again. I mean, honestly. There's 4 big games coming out on February 22nd of 2019, and Crackdown 3 is slated to be one of those 4.
I don't think it makes it.
I mean,
or it gets buried.
I think it should either get delayed just a week or two, or honestly, I think they should try and get it out a week or two earlier so it can beat some of the sales that you're gonna get from Anthem, which is the same day. And
Days Gone?
Yeah, Days Gone is another one of the others for sure. And I can't remember what that 4th one is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm positive that there's a 4th game that comes out on February 22nd. There's too many. That game, that day is going to be huge. It's October 27th of last year, we got Assassin's Creed what is it?
Origins?
Yeah, Origins. Yeah. Origins. You got that. You got Super Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus all on the same day.
That's a hell of a day, man.
That's a lot. You're paying for half a console if you want all those games on that day. Or even, did Shadow of War come out on that day too? No, I don't think it did. I think that was September. But yeah, so Microsoft was good. I think they were my favorite show, honestly, just as far as how they did. But obviously, you know, I'm the Nintendo guy, so I was most excited about the Nintendo show.
I mean, Smash Bros. Is definitely the game of the show for me. Like that's
same, man.
It's phenomenal, man. But there's several contenders for that game of the show spot.
Oh, seriously.
Wrong, man.
I mean, as far as just like straight up reveals, like, you know, Starfield, Cyberpunk, Elder Scrolls 6, like just little teasers. I mean, Cyberpunk was less of a teaser. It actually like kind of really gave us a good idea of what we can expect from the experience thematically.
Yeah, well, I feel like it was still kind of a teaser though, because it didn't show any gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. But it definitely gave us the tone of the world. Yeah. And I mean, as a story-driven, focused game, it was nice of them to kind of give us like a taste of what kind of story we can expect.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, but you know, there was Beyond Good and Evil, and those three, you know, big teaser ones. I mean, Cyberpunk again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Super Smash Bros., Death Stranding, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a big one for me.
That actually looks really From Software doing Tenchu Souls, baby.
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna, if I can narrow it down to 5, I'm gonna go with Smash Bros., Sekiro, Death Stranding, Last of Us, and I need more time to think about it. What do you guys think?
Oh man, I don't know. All I'm thinking about is Bethesda because I don't have any consoles. So Nintendo's, PlayStation's, and Microsoft's conferences were mostly no for me.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm waiting for Fallout 76 right now.
That'd be good.
So everything else was just cool to see. I mean, I like to keep tabs on like the franchises that I like, games that I may or may not play. I don't know. I really want to get into Death Stranding when that does come out.
I heard that might come out on PC. I'm pretty sure
it is.
Might
it's
actually,
PlayStation 4 and PC.
Okay, good. Then I'm gonna get the fuck down on that on PC. That'll do that. So I don't know, man.
We'll let you play Last of Us Part 2 as well. I mean, we gotta get you on the first one first, of course. Man. But
it's gotta happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I can't stop thinking about the prospect of Elder Scrolls 6, and it's just putting me off from playing other games. It's just like I just want that now, and it's like it's not here yet.
Yeah.
So I can't play it.
A long time.
So so I have to wait. So I'm just gonna sit here and think about that, and it's. You know, so I'll just be keeping you guys updated on what I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So where are you at in your Elder Scrolls 6 thoughts, bro?
Yeah.
Right. We'll have a podcast dedicated to that. Only that at some point. We'll just have theories and what we want from the game, and you know, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, at the moment, I'm just speculating that it's going to be in either High Rock or Hammerfell.
Yeah.
Just based on the image that we're seeing behind us. And
exactly.
The map of Tamriel.
Exactly.
You know, it seemed like it was kind of flying from like north to south, and if you look at the Tamriel map, High Rock and Hammerfell are kind of up on the northwest coast, and they've got some peninsula-like fixtures and mountainy terrain.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell based on this image. All that they showed us, all we got from this trailer was just like flying over some.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, you know, but I mean, we can. We honestly, I really want to start asking questions about that, and this is about to become an Elder Scrolls 6 like concluding like.
It's just we're just gonna speculate for days.
My friend Pedro looks good.
Yeah.
But I'm already reading way too much into minor things they've said. Todd Howard has mentioned that, you know, for Starfield and Elder Scrolls that they're thinking about different design challenges, and I'm already thinking VR. Yeah. I'm thinking about VR because, like, I mean, like, you're making a game. It's just like, you know, you point and you click and you do the thing. But in VR, you know, that's a design challenge. How do you do both? How do you make a game that you can release on both? Make it the same game.
Especially awesome. Next gen, because they're projecting down the road now about where you think VR is going to be, which brings up an interesting point of something I saw today that surprised me. Microsoft announced they're not bringing VR to the Xbox.
Get the fuck out of here.
And that's exactly what I said. Like, what?
Why?
You're already exploring the space.
You've already got the whole mixed reality platform that could totally probably run on your Xbox One X.
It definitely can. If PlayStation 4 is not as powerful as the Xbox One X, and they're running virtual reality at a high level for that machine, of course the One X can do it. And the fact that you're not makes me doubt your other efforts on the PC side, because how confident are you in this whole mixed reality platform?
Well, here's my question then. It's like, when you read the statement, did they say that VR is not coming to the Xbox One specifically as a console?
Bringing it to Xbox.
Oh, see, yeah.
So like to me, it was more like a statement on the brand as opposed to a specific console.
That's what I was worried about. And that's just like, man, why you got to do that? Like, I mean, you never know. VR could be insane a decade from now, and that could be like a standard, just a standard way to play.
It will be.
Like, I'm sure it will be. Like, that's going to be a way more affordable. It's going to have way less,
They shouldn't fall behind.
Yeah.
I mean, the PlayStation VR is the highest selling VR headset right now.
Yeah.
And Microsoft has an inbuilt ecosystem that I feel like they could try to adapt to the Xbox One X or future consoles. I don't see any reason why they couldn't create, because they've already confirmed that they're speccing out their next Xbox model for 2020-ish.
Yeah.
So they're in pre-engineering or engineering. I don't know why they would ignore VR, considering in 2 years, I can only imagine that the market's going to be bigger and the hardware is going to be better.
Yep.
Why wouldn't you try to integrate your whole mixed reality headset lineup into your Xbox marketplace? Like, it seems like a perfect marriage. Like, you guys are there.
It is a perfect marriage.
Technology. You have your Microsoft. Get it together. It just doesn't make sense, man. I don't know.
It just goes with while we're touting their E3 that they had as a very good show, this goes along the lines of their decision making that they've historically had this generation, even from the way they announced it. With the Xbox One, you always got to be connected. This, that, all these limitations. It's just like the arrogance they take of we know better, so this is what we're doing. It's like, actually, you guys might want to humble yourselves a little bit and look at what's happening, because you're leaving a whole section of this pie just unattended for Sony to just gobble up unopposed.
And boy, did they gobble it up.
Oh man, they're gonna keep gobbling it up.
Oh yeah, easily. As long as they have a chance to, and Microsoft just keeps giving them that. So.
And let me ask you this. Okay, we're not PC gamers right now, hypothetically. We don't have PCs.
Yeah.
We're looking at the next generation consoles, but we can only afford one.
Yeah.
Okay? All things said, even they're gonna be powerful.
Yeah.
One's gonna be more powerful than the other, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's more about what you can play. So what's gonna base your decision? Okay, I could get this console, have cool games, and eventually I can expand this console, add a VR capability to it, which is almost like having a whole other system.
Right.
Or I could just buy this box that's going to be this box the whole time that box is supported.
No, for sure. I mean, if I were to choose between a console and one of them had VR and one of them didn't, knowing what I know now about what I like about VR, which is everything, I would choose the one that had VR.
Easy.
Even if it wasn't that great.
Even if you never got around to getting the VR, you at least have the option.
Yeah.
If I want to get into it, it's there.
Yeah. No, that's very disappointing, man. I'm very sad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too, man. I thought for sure the One X was going to get some of that mixed reality love.
I mean, even Nintendo's doing VR stuff, not with the Switch or anything, but they have VR Mario Kart, and it's something that they made, and it's a thing.
They've licensed out to some arcades and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, because there's so much speculation about VR being integrated into the Scorpio, which turned out to be the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Just for that to not happen, just okay, all right, I guess that's how they're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You're already losing on the exclusives front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what the fuck? You guys are gonna shoe-ho or corner yourselves more? I don't know. Doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, I wonder what they want to be. How do they see themselves? When Microsoft sits back, what do they think they are in this gaming sector? What unique? Because Nintendo is Nintendo. Obviously, they have their IPs that are classic.
Yeah.
That carry them, but they're also into the Switch, the hybrid console front. Right. They got their own lane, like we talked about before. Yeah. They're just staying. Sony has their own lane, but they didn't create it by intentionally. They just kicked ass at making exclusives and wanted to expand their technological capabilities. Now they're in that lane where they run that, but there's room for other people in that lane. It's just Microsoft don't want to hop in there.
Yeah.
So what lane are y'all trying to create? Because every lane you have right now, or the lane you're in, crosses over with every other person's lane, but you don't cross over into the lanes that they're occupying.
Nope.
So I don't know what the hell they're trying to do, man.
Doesn't make any sense.
They just want to play the game, bro. They don't want to win. They just want to play. Yeah, man. That's all I'm really got on the E3 tip. I don't know if anyone else got anything, man.
Super Smash Bros, man. I mean, Ridley, Daisy, Inklings, obviously. You know, I think we're gonna see a couple more newcomers, but I mean, like they said, you know, don't expect too many because they're bringing everybody back. They brought everybody back.
Did we not call that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We said that a while back. I was like, no, they should bring everyone back. Yeah. I remember we literally said that.
Even Snake. Like, I remember that. Oh my god.
They did it. They did it. And that's, you know, honestly, that's the best thing you could do. Like, you make everybody happy there.
Exactly.
Everybody's got their main.
Exactly.
You know? And you rebalance and you add new mechanics. And I've been hearing that they've kind of changed things with, like, there's like penalties now for like trying to dodge all the time.
Yeah, if you dodge too much, they make the animation way slower, so you're way more vulnerable if you dodge too much. They made it so that perfect shielding is done by releasing the shield button instead of just pressing it at the exact time. So it's a little bit more high risk, high reward, because if you don't do it in time, then you're either going to get hit or your shield's going to take damage.
Yeah.
And so there's also like other little things, like you can hit while you're like climbing on a ladder. You can do attacks or whatever. You can smash to cancel dashing. Like if you're sprinting, you can just you move the smash stick and boom, you're stopped and you're already doing your attack. They made air dodging directional again, like in Melee, but except now you can still do your second jump or do other attacks while you're still in the air falling and whatever. And so they've been doing some stuff to keep it. I mean, it's quicker. It plays a lot quicker. One thing, like in one-on-one matches, they made it so that in one-on-one matches you do more damage and your opponent does more damage, just to make the games, quicker and more well-paced. And oh man, so much they're doing. And I mean, I've wanted Ridley in the game since Melee when they included him in that little CG trailer, and I was like, I don't know shit about Metroid. Who is that? He looks cool. Why can't I play as him? Like. And I mean, obviously, I played a lot of Metroid since then, so I'm a lot more aware of him. But yeah, I'm glad that he's in the game. I'm glad that he looks brutal. I think he looks OP, man. Like I think I could mess some shit up with him. And I've been watching that Mario and Villager gameplay and Ganondorf, dude. They brought all of his smash attacks. He uses his sword that he never actually used in Ocarina of Time, or whatever. But they were gonna give him a sword in Ocarina of Time, and it was like this big old thing with like a blade that's like that at the end, and you use it for his forward, down, and up smash in this new one, and that excites me. I've always wanted his sword in the game. I've always wanted like a Ganon from Wind Waker, where he's got the two katana blades and he's just quick and jumping around and shit. Like, that would be cool, but maybe next time. And no Waluigi, obviously. The internet's been really mad about that.
Yeah.
What if though?
I want Waluigi.
It might be still. There's still time.
I mean, perhaps maybe they unveil a couple new characters, and one of them is Waluigi, because Waluigi gonna win.
Yeah,
I hope it's so, man.
There's only a handful they can even do, so I feel like if they said don't expect much, man, if they do other characters and they don't have fucking Waluigi, at least they got Ridley. At least they got everyone else.
Yeah, they got Ridley, and that's been a big one. So it was smart of Nintendo to reveal Ridley at E3. On the Nintendo side, apart from Super Smash Bros., I am upset that they didn't do Metroid Prime 4. They didn't show any gameplay, no CG trailer or anything, no teaser that was more than just the title. But I mean, if Bethesda's allowed to tease Starfield and Skyrim, then I guess Nintendo's allowed to tease Metroid Prime 4. It's fair.
Yeah. Well, and I think I don't know if anybody was expecting the Metroid.
No, I don't think that anyone was really either. I think that they were just as ready to get nothing from it as much as they were ready to maybe get some piece, like some morsel of information.
Right.
But honestly, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised that, back when they were doing, they had unveiled the Switch and they'd kind of laid out their plans for the future, they had been saying that Fire Emblem would be coming to the Switch in 2018. That Fire Emblem game is not coming to the Switch in 2018. That is coming in 2019, and I am excited for the game because I love Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I just wish it was coming out sooner. So, as far as the Nintendo E3, I mean, Smash was great. I didn't expect any less.
Has to be.
It has to be.
Smash.
I mean, like 2018 might not be as good of a year for like Nintendo titles for the Switch as 2017 was with Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, ARMS.
How do you repeat that though?
You don't.
How do you? Yeah, you can't.
Don't.
For like a studio or like a company that's so first party based as Nintendo.
Yeah.
You can't like just make another Mario and Zelda game in like another year.
Exactly.
You know, like they're like top notch. You gotta take your time and you let
takes time.
happen. Yeah, so
exactly.
That's why third party support is so crucial, man.
For sure. For sure.
You gotta fill those gaps in.
Yeah. And I mean, we got that Fortnite, we got that Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm excited for both of those. Well, I mean, Fortnite's already out, so I gotta go download it.
Oh, and I was gonna say, I mean, they're also getting like Wolfenstein and like all this shit to Switch. Switch is doing all right.
Switch is doing pretty good considering, at least when you compare it to their last console, the Wii U, obviously.
You know what I heard earlier today, because I didn't actually watch a lot of the Nintendo conference. I was busy, but I saw, or on a podcast I was watching earlier today, somebody else's podcast, that the Switches are, for the Mario Party game, like you can orient them together in different ways, like two Switches, like party mode, and like calibrate them so you can play across the screens, so hook them up. It was the Tested podcast or Tested's what is it, their weekly podcast with like Norm and Jeremy and what's the other guy's name? Anyway. It's a good podcast. But they said they saw a patent for it like 6 months ago or like a year ago. About like the Switches linking up together some way. And they're curious to see where that went, and here it is. It's cool.
And honestly, like I'm pretty excited. I'm oddly excited for Mario Party. I keep on thinking that there's beer in that, and there's. I am excited for Mario Party, and they actually are calling it Super Mario Party, and I actually was like, I don't know if I ever said that on the podcast, but I've always wondered, like, hey, when are they gonna stop calling it Mario Party? Like, when are they gonna make it, instead of 11 and 12 and shit? They made it to 10, so why not just make it Super Mario Party and like
way too fucking long for that.
Like, exactly. Like, reinvigorate the series a bit and make it like fun again, and it actually kind of does. Like, I mean, it obviously, with how Nintendo has been doing their consoles since the days of the Wii, obviously they experiment a lot with their hardware, and Mario Party is a perfect franchise to utilize that. So I get it, but at the same time, my favorite Mario Party games are from the days before that on the GameCube and Nintendo 64. But I mean, I get it. You know, I like that they're going in this direction with what they do for Mario Party, I guess. But there were certain things that with that second half of games that they just did wrong. Like, you know, there was this one Mario Party where you were all in a vehicle all together and you would all move down the board at the same time, and it's like, how does that make any sense? I thought this was like a board game with mini games. Like, what are you doing? But this one looks fun. It comes out October 5th, pretty soon. Nice. You know,
an actual party, no more 1-2 switch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is your Wii Sports. It doesn't come with it though. It's still $60, $59.99 USD. Yeah,
it's a steep price for a party game.
You know, that's one thing about Nintendo not even Nintendo consoles, but the Switch in general. Like, it's an awesome machine, and it's got a lot of great games available, but almost all of them are $40 to $60. Like, if you want a physical copy, at least. If you want to download, then, you know, $20, $10, maybe, sure, here and there. There's a lot of great indie content on there. But if you want like a big, you know, AAA title, $60. Even if the game's 2 or 3 or 4 years old, $60. Like, I mean, not 2 or 3 or 4 because Switch hasn't been out that long, but
but relatively speaking.
Exactly. Like, Nintendo games kind of stay at their full price, like, for a while. And, you know, that's too bad. But, you know, Smash Bros. I'll pay $60 for that.
I'll pay $80 for that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not even joking.
I would have paid $80 for Breath of the Wild. Like, I mean, I would have paid $80 for The Witcher 3. I'll pay $80 for Cyberpunk.
Scratch that. We can't tell them.
Don't say that.
I'll pay $80.
They'll end up charging shit like that.
I'll pay $80 for the games that are good enough. I'm sorry. I'm sticking with my guns there.
That was all the hops, bro. That was the hop shop.
I mean, it's worth it. I mean, like, it's very good content. I don't want to pay more.
I technically did pay $80 for Breath of the Wild, I guess, with the DLC. But how much did I put into Super Smash Bros. This last time? Because I got the 3DS version and the Wii U version and the DLC for both versions. Every character, every skin, every extra map, everything. I almost put like $200 down for Super Smash Bros. This last generation. Thankfully, I don't have to do that this time because it's coming out on one console. But yeah, I think we should probably wrap it up. It's getting late and I am hungry.
And this battery, we don't know where it's at. That is one thing.
Yeah.
We don't want to have an involuntary wrap up.
True enough. Well, I think we pretty much covered all the E3. I mean, we had Sunday, Bethesda and Microsoft. Monday was Sony. Tuesday was Nintendo.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff. I don't know. Yeah, we can recap our weeks next week.
Well,
there goes the camera.
As if
and on that note,
we're gonna be lazy and not fix it, and instead just call it a night. Yeah. So E3 2018, it's over. We've shared our spiel on it. So this has been Game Related Network.
Yeah, baby.
This is closing out.
Yeah, and I mean we're going back to the old format here. This is like back when we were in the other room doing the voice only now. Yeah. But yeah, this has been Zach.
This is Adam.
This was Kevin.
And we'll see you guys next time. Hip hop for life. Oh, I kicked the wire right at the end. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. A nice little lightning pop for him. Right.